What is up, and welcome to my first video I've done about Mario Kart, and today I'm going to be discussing the tracks I would like to see return if they ever make a Mario Kart 9. Now, I'm really hoping Mario Kart 9 comes out on the Switch very soon, and this video was inspired by my friend's video where he talks about the possibilities of Mario Kart 9 coming and what he'd like to see in it, so go check that out, it'll be in the description. And anyway, I'm limiting myself to a maximum of 4 tracks for each separate game, so I don't just put them all from the Wii, as that was my favourite console and my favourite Mario Kart because I grew up with it and stuff. So I've chosen 4 from the Nintendo 64, 4 from the GameCube, 4 from the DS and 4 from the Wii. I've left out the really old NES and Game Boy ones as I never really enjoyed them and I didn't play them, so I can't really talk about them. I've also left out the 3DS. I'm going to make another video on the 3DS Mario Kart in the future. Now let's start off with the Nintendo 64 tracks that I'd want to see return for Mario Kart 9 on the Switch. I also forgot to say I'm not going to be talking about any tracks that are already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because if Mario Kart 9 is on the Switch, I don't think there's any point in having the same track remade for another Mario Kart on the same console. And because I can only choose 4 from each console, I am still going to be missing out loads of tracks that I really love, so don't get offended, this is just my opinion. I'd also love to hear what you think in the comments and tell me your favourite tracks. The first track that I'd like to see on the next Mario Kart game is Calamari Desert from Nintendo 64. This track has some really cool elements to it. For example, it has a train that comes along randomly in the race, and there's a chance that you'll get stopped by it when you're in first place on the final lap, and it adds an element of excitement, hoping that you're not going to have the worst luck and lose the race because of it. I used to play this a lot on my 3DS when I played Mario Kart 7, and I know that it was really fun back then, so I'd love to see it return on the Switch so I can play with my friends. The next track I'd love to see is Bowser's Castle from the Nintendo 64. Now, I loved this track so much when I was a kid. I used to play it tons when I was on my Wii. I remember beating my dad every time because I got really good at doing the shortcut at the end where you'd go along the barrier just on the last turn and you could catch up to people to try and win that way. And it has a very classic Bowser's Castle vibe to it. I would also love to see DK's Jungle Parkway from Nintendo 64, as this course means a lot to me because it was in the Wii, and it also reminds me of Donkey Kong 64, which I loved so much, and I've been playing it a lot recently. This course involves you going through the jungle and having a huge boost ramp take you across a river to get to the second part. You can also see a massive cruise ship going by sometimes as you fly over the river. The final track I'd want to see from Mario Kart 64 is Banshee Boardwalk. This track has a creepy vibe to it, which is pretty cool, and halfway through you go into a haunted house, and I really like that feel of being in a spooky new area, and you're driving along a boardwalk for the whole track before you enter the haunted castle. And right at the beginning of the track, a massive fish actually jumps over you, and it looks really awesome. Now moving on to Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube, one of the tracks I'd want to see come from that in the new Mario Kart is Daisy Cruiser. Now this track is themed around a massive cruise ship that you have to go along, and it's meant to be Daisy's cruise ship, and you drive around the whole inside of it and go along the top, and it looks really cool and reminds me of going on fun holidays with my family, so I'd love to be able to play that. And I also really enjoyed it when it was on the 3DS. I'd also really want to play DK Mountain in the next Mario Kart, as I loved this track way too much when I was a kid. I thought I had the world record on it when I used to play on the Wii because I beat the time trial, but I was nowhere near the world record. This track is themed in the Donkey Kong universe around a huge mountain that you get boosted up to in a cannon right at the beginning, and the whole lap is you making your way down from the mountain back to the finish line to complete the lap. At one point there's boulders that you have to dodge flying down from the edges of the cliffs, and it's really exciting. I also really hope that Mario Kart 9 includes Wario Colosseum as one of the remade tracks, as this one is really unique because it only has 2 laps, unlike most of the other tracks which have 3 laps, and you drive along a cage looking like course. There's tons of exciting twists and turns in it and ramps to do tricks off of, so this one would be really fun in the chaotic online mode on Mario Kart. The final track I've chosen from Mario Kart Double Dash that I want to see in Mario Kart 9 is Bowser's Castle. This one has a really cool ending because at the start of the course you enter Bowser's Castle, and it's the usual type of lava-y, fiery place. As you leave, you then drive towards a huge statue of Bowser that's shooting fireballs at you, and you have to quickly dodge them, and it's very chaotic but exciting at the same time. Okay, for the first DS track that I've got on this list, it is Desert Hills. Now, some people don't actually like desert levels, but Nintendo usually add one, and if they were going to add a desert level to Mario Kart 9, I would love to see Desert Hills. It starts off with a really nice oasis in the background, and you drive around in this cool desert world, and it seems pretty nice. And it has quite a few twists and turns, so you can get some good practice at this map and try and become the best at it, so it can get really fun. Of course, I'm going to have Delfino Square on this list from the DS, as I really love Mario Sunshine, and Delfino Square is based around Mario Sunshine. It has the Piantas, I think they're called, from the Mario Sunshine universe, which we don't really see that often, and it's cool to have a map themed around it. And maybe if the rumors are true and they're going to port Mario Sunshine onto the Nintendo Switch, this would be a cool advertisement for that game as well. I really want Airship Fortress to come onto the next Mario Kart game, because that map is so cool. You get to go around the airships, which are like from the Mario Bros series, and it has the moles that pop out of the holes and chuck spanners at you, and it's kind of like a new Super Mario Bros level but in 3D in a Mario Kart track, and it's really cool to go around the airship. And then also there's a part in the track where you're getting shot at by the big bullet things, and it adds a cool obstacle to dodge in the track. The last track I want from the DS is Peach Gardens. Now, I really like this one because it's themed around one of Peach's castles, and there's tons of different routes you can take in the map, as one section is set in a maze in Peach's garden, and there are chain chomps you have to dodge. And so if you practice this track a lot, you'll get really good at finding the best path to take. And it has some really nice scenery, as it's set in a beautiful garden that Peach, I guess, got her toads to make for her. Now, moving on to the Mario Kart Wii tracks, which is by far my favourite Mario game because I played it for countless hours as a kid, and it's always going to mean a lot to me. So anyway, the first track that I want to come back, and I really want this one to come back, it's Coconut Mall. Most people I know really loved this track. It's so exciting, and each lap the conveyor belts change on the staircases, so you have to go in the right one that boosts you forwards. And it's also very enraging when your mum's me runs you over on the last lap when you're first place and you get into last place. It just adds so many funny experiences. I think Nintendo should definitely add this one. Now, I would also love to see Koopa Cape return from the Wii on the next Mario Kart, as I love Koopa Cape. It has a really exciting feel to it. You drive down a river and then get to a waterfall and go down that, straight down the waterfall into a weird pipe area that has electricity that makes you go really tiny if you get hit by it. So it's fun dodging that, and it makes you feel really quick when you're in the water, as it gives you a speed boost. The map just looks incredible, and it's so fun. Another track that I love to death is Maple Tree Way. This would be a perfect map for Mario Kart 9. And also, I haven't talked about any of the music in the tracks, but Maple Tree Way has some really cool music. I always remember it when I think of the track, so it must have been good, and I loved this one. I used to be obsessed with the shortcut at the start of the map where you could go off-road and go down this secret area with boosts, and I thought I was really cool for discovering that, even though most people know about it, but it was awesome. It also features the big caterpillars from Mario Bros that get very angry at some points if they get hit, especially. You're literally driving around a huge tree. It's really unique. It's also set in the autumn time and looks really beautiful. Now I'm about to show you the final track that I want out of all of the Mario games, and I love this track so much. It brought me so many funny memories, as everyone I knew was really bad at it, and I became obsessed with it. I used to play this track so much to try and become really good, and I kind of perfected it. And this track is Rainbow Road from the Wii, and I loved this track so much. It was crazy to me. It felt really big at the time I played it. I'm not sure if it is actually that long. Every part of the track feels different. It also has a huge skill level to not fall off the track loads of times like my dad used to, so I love this track, and it needs to be in the next Mario game. Okay guys, that is all the tracks that I'm going to be talking about for now. I have left out Mario Kart 7, so I will come back to that hopefully in the future. And also, I have another cool video idea for a Mario Kart 9 one, where I'm going to be talking about track ideas that I'd want to see. So I'll be trying to come up with unique ideas for tracks that I want Nintendo to add in the next one. I've thought of quite a few already, and I haven't even brainstormed for that video yet. So yeah, that video should come out soon, so please subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed this and want to see that as well. Also go check out Tricky Nick's YouTube video in the description. He's the one who inspired me to make this. I also want to say I'm really excited for Mario Kart 9, so let's beg Nintendo enough until they make it. Mario Kart 8 is not enough for the Switch, even though it's a deluxe edition. We need a new game for it. So yeah, we really got to get that. I hope you liked my opinions on the Mario Kart track. Also comment your own ones and tell me maybe like a top 10 list of your favorite Mario Kart tracks you really want in the next game. I'll see you in the next video, which should be out soon. Anyway, see ya.